WTHR, Indianapolis. Now, Tom Cochran and writer, Positively Indiana with Liz Daly, Bob Gregory's Skytrack Weather, and Dave Calabro Sports. With coverage you can count on, this is Channel 13 Eyewitness News at 5 o'clock.
Good afternoon, I'm Tom Cochran.
And I'm Ann Ryder. As is obvious to you, we have a new home tonight and a new name. This is Channel 13 Eyewitness News at 5 o'clock.
Our top story today, new developments in the Oklahoma City bombing, including the release of another sketch of the elusive suspect known as John Doe No. 2. The new picture is a profile view in which the suspect appears stocky and wears a baseball cap. An FBI agent says the suspect is tan and muscular and may be a weightlifter. And near Junction City, Kansas today, where the Ryder truck that carried the bomb was rented, investigators looked for evidence. The materials for the bomb were mixed nearby. They also looked at a nearby lake for tools and equipment used to make the bomb. Investigators today said they did find a receipt for 1 ton of ammonium nitrate in the home of Terry Nichols today. They say the receipt did have bombing suspect Timothy McVeigh's fingerprints on it.
In the aftermath of the Oklahoma City bombing, you've heard a lot about the growing militia movement in America, especially the Michigan militia. But just how much do we know about militias right here in Indiana? More than 4 months ago, Eyewitness News investigative reporter Bill Hussung set out to learn everything he could about Indiana militias. Beginning tonight at 6 o'clock, Eyewitness News presents a 5-part investigation called Patriot Powder Keg. And Bill is here with us now for a preview. Bill.
And this week on Channel 13 Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock, we'll take you inside the hearts and minds of Hoosiers who belong to Indiana militias, Hoosiers who believe the federal government is planning to enslave us all. These beliefs are already causing trouble with the law. Here's a preview of tonight's Patriot Powder Keg. And a half dozen Indiana militia figures already face trouble with the law. Ripley County militia leader Mark Adams engaged in a 4-hour standoff with a state police SWAT team. Another militia leader is charged with allegedly using a car to block a federal motorcade. Yet another militiaman was charged with public intoxication after allegedly marching around a county courthouse armed with an assault rifle and 29 rounds. Tonight's piece offers an overview of the roughly 2,000 Hoosiers who belong to militias. In the coming days, we'll explain how the passions that these Hoosiers hold are already leading to problems with the law. Patriot Powder Keg all this week at 6 o'clock.
You get a completely different view of this kind of organization by going undercover, inside, right?
When you really get inside and talk to them, the passions come to the surface.
Can't wait. Thanks. 6 o'clock.
Thanks, Andy.
Indiana's lawmakers beat the legislative clock and adjourned on time Saturday for the first time in 10 years. It has been a long 4 months. What did they do? We'll put the question to Channel 13 Eyewitness reporter Rich Van Wyk, who is covering the State House. Rich, what got done?
Well, Tom, it's a lot easier maybe to talk about the things that did not get done because there's hardly an issue lawmakers didn't take on in the last couple of months. The budget, abortion, taxes, crime, courts, and Indiana unions are all going to be affected by what's happened here in the last several months. Right now, lawmakers are grinding out the public relations machinery, trying to convince the voters back home that they've done the right things.
Speaker, you heard the committee report. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, committee report's been adopted. Committee report.
The frenzy of Saturday night's last-minute lawmaking has given way to a free-for-all of who can claim the most credit. Interns for House Republicans are sending tens of thousands of flyers to voters. They tell a message of tax cuts, welfare reform, more money for schools, and less tolerance for criminals. All this while the Republican leadership delivers the message in person in Terre Haute and 4 other cities.
The changes we've made will make a difference in the state for the next few years and for the next 50 years.
In Indianapolis, Democrats, Republicans, and the governor look more like the best of friends, not the political enemies they've been for the last 4 months. The issue of auto excise tax cuts is now show and tell, not tug of war.
What we're going to do is we're going to cut it in half. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations.
Funny, no one mentioned the controversial cuts in union wages on government construction projects, or tort reform, the 18-hour wait for abortions, and changes in teacher union fees. The 3 contentious bills Governor Bayh vetoed and Republicans overrode. Almost everyone is applauding the state's 2-year budget.
The governor will have a sizable surplus, and that means that he can leave his tenure in office with either the state's largest surplus or maybe even to look at a tax cut next session.
A legislative staffer picked up on possibly the best news of the session. She spotted the first line in the Republicans' message to constituents.
Oh, it says it's official. It's over. They have adjourned.
One worker at the State House said, it's sort of like you have a bunch of kids, they all go to college at the same time, and you don't miss them. You're glad they've gone back to college. Some critics there are, Tom, of the budget. They're saying that Indiana's going to be left with an $829 million surplus. It could have afforded to spend more money on things like education and raises for state workers. I'm Rich Van Wyk, reporting live for WTHR Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
Rich, you figure both the assets and the liabilities of this will cut both ways for the Democrats and the Republicans?
Right now, everybody's claiming credit for issues they fought about. Republicans wanted this much, Democrats didn't want to do anything, and they compromised. On a lot of compromises we saw here, there were absolutely no smiles, which some people say is the mark of a good compromise.
All right, Rich Van Wyk at the State House. Thank you. One of the bills lawmakers passed will mean big savings for you when you buy car license plates.
Rich mentioned this. Now we're going to go into more detail. Legislators cut what is considered the most hated tax in Indiana, the state excise tax. As Channel 13 Eyewitness News reporter Linda Moore explains, the tax cut will result in a 50% reduction over the course of 5 years.
It's something most of us don't like to do, pay taxes. But there's good news for taxpayers coming out of the state legislature. Most of you will be getting a cut in your excise taxes starting next year. Here's an example. If you bought a 1995 car this year costing between $10,000 and $12,500, you'll pay $300 in excise taxes. That same car will cost you $198 in excise taxes next year, and you can see that by the 5th year, you'd pay only $94. The new bill saves you a total of $280 over the 5-year schedule. In general, Hoosier taxpayers are relieved to get a break with their excise taxes, but some are skeptical.
Well, of course, I like to have more money in my pocket, but I think it's typically short-sighted and irresponsible. The roads are terrible. We need the tax dollars, so you got to collect them.
I think it's a great idea. They didn't go far enough. The excise tax is much too high. This is the 3rd state I've lived in, and we never heard of excise taxes in the amounts that Indiana charges.
Indiana has, real high plates anyway, so any bit of cut we're going to get is going to help.
The money you pay in excise taxes funds local schools and governments. The excise tax cuts will be phased in over a period of 5 years. Linda Moore, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
State House officials say some people may not have as big a reduction in their excise taxes in 1996 as they normally would have. However, they say everyone will experience substantial savings over the remaining 4 years. Effective use of money is high on the priority list of the new IPS superintendent who starts the job tomorrow. Esperanza Zendejas, the daughter of migrant workers, comes to Indianapolis from the Brownsville, Texas school system. She's known as a no-nonsense administrator who demands efficiency and performance in schools. She replaces Dr. Cheryl Gilbert, who stepped down amid controversy last year.
Now a couple of stories making headlines across the nation tonight. First, in Minnesota, prosecutors have reached a settlement with Malcolm X's daughter. Cabela Shabazz will undergo a 2-year psychiatric and chemical dependency program as part of a plea agreement. She's accused of hiring a hitman to kill Islam leader Louis Farrakhan, who she believed helped kill her father 30 years ago. Shabazz saw her father murdered in New York City by 3 members of the Nation of Islam. Louis Farrakhan has repeatedly denied any involvement in the death of Malcolm X. And in Illinois, the child known as Baby Richard has been reunited with his biological parents. It was an emotional scene yesterday when Baby Richard was handed over to Ottakar and Daniela Kirchner in suburban Chicago. The exchange took place at the adoptive parents' home amid angry shouts from over 200 neighbors. The state Supreme Court ruled in January that the adoption was illegal because the boy's mother told the child's father that he had died at birth. Baby Richard's father learned the truth 57 days after his son's birth and has been fighting for custody ever since.
Some rain on the flowers and the dogwoods today.
Boy, rainy days and Mondays, I guess. We're starting out that track, and with a whole new month, too. We want to get rid of this thing as well as soon as we can. We did forecast rain last evening. Not too much has fallen as yet. Here are some of the numbers as far as the day is concerned. We continue below normal, just a trace of precip in the gauge so far. But tonight, temperatures, are going to remain on the cool side. And carry an umbrella with you. We're still going to have some rain around, 45 degrees by 11 o'clock. But tomorrow afternoon, there's hope. We may become partly sunny in the afternoon with a 60-degree high, but I'm afraid there's still a couple of more rounds of showers before we get to either the mini marathon or the speedway, all the things coming up over the weekend. Yeah, so we'll talk more about that for you in a few minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Bob. Still ahead for you on Channel 13 Eyewitness News at 5 o'clock. Another one bites the dust of the O.J. Simpson trial. The juror who said she couldn't take it anymore wasn't kidding. We'll have details on her dismissal, plus expert analysis from Jeffrey Modisette.
Also ahead, the election everyone forgot about, except perhaps those of you who live in Muncie. We'll have a primary preview coming up a little later.
Also coming up, Liz Daly's Positively Indiana. Tonight we meet a coach who is teaching his players all the right moves. It's all ahead on Eyewitness News at 5 o'clock.
Closed captioning of Eyewitness News is brought to you by Kenbrook Hospital and the Center for Hip and Knee Surgery, national leaders in joint replacement and orthopedic care, specializing in the way you move.
Protect metal surfaces with Rust-Oleum from Menards. Rust-Oleum stops rust paint, gives a protective coating to prevent rust. Plus, it features excellent chip and peel resistance, now $4.64 a quart. Give your home the look that lasts with Dutch Boy paint or stain. Dirt Fighter interior flat paint is now $9.29 a gallon. Deck and siding stain is $9.82 a gallon. Spruce up and save at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Free gasoline? You say it doesn't grow on trees. Well, it does. If you use the Shell MasterCard from Chemical Bank, and you earn more and more free Shell gasoline the more you use the Shell MasterCard from Chemical Bank. Over $40 million of free gasoline have already been given away. The Shell MasterCard from Chemical Bank. Look for an offer in the mail or pick up an application at a Shell station near you.
Head up, straighten that line.
While most stores settle for just one USDA inspection,
About face.
Kroger insists on 2.
Ladies.
Kroger, serving you comes first.
Want something special for dinner? Try Center Cut Whole Boneless Pork Loin. It's just $1.99 a pound, limit one. And pick up Coca-Cola products. 24 packs of 12-ounce cans are just $3.99 with coupon and $10 additional purchase.
Number one in America.
Ford Ranger. It's the best-selling compact pickup in America for the 8th year in a row. Now it's even better because now it offers a brand new, more comfortable interior, a standard driver's side airbag, and more. Plus, you get all the toughness that made Ranger a bestseller. That's why around here, Ford trucks are number one. Ford Ranger. Still just as tough, now even better. And another reason why your Ford dealer's the one.
Your Indiana Ford dealer's the one.
Long before the Oklahoma bombing, we began our own Eyewitness News investigation into Indiana's militia. You'll be shocked to see what we uncovered. Tonight at 6.
More problems in the O.J. Simpson trial. Yet another juror has been dismissed, leaving only 5 alternates with months remaining in the trial.
The dismissal of the juror comes at a very critical point, the admission and analysis of blood evidence. Here's what happened today. Tracy Hampton, an African-American flight attendant, became the 7th juror dismissed from the panel. Police chemist Greg Matheson is testifying about blood typing, and Judge Lance Ito got tough with courtroom spectators today. Channel 13 Eyewitness News reporter Kevin Bradley joins us with the latest developments. Kevin.
Well, Ann, the female African-American flight attendant has been replaced by a Hispanic female real estate appraiser. The racial makeup of the jury has been changed, but more importantly, the jury pool is running dry.
I'm fine now that I'm home.
She said she couldn't take it anymore. Now she won't have to. 25-year-old Tracy Hampton didn't have much to say to reporters, but her mom did.
What went wrong?
She's tired. The trial lasted longer than anticipated, and she's not strong now.
Matheson.
Back in the courtroom, police chemist Greg Matheson was on the stand for the prosecution.
Are you part of any conspiracy in this case to frame the defendant?
No, I am not.
Matheson did the blood typing on the blood taken from O.J. Simpson, the victims, and the blood evidence taken at the crime scene and Simpson's estate. A blood trail prosecutors say leads directly to the defendant.
So Mr. Simpson alone is included in the 0.43% of the population that could have left the blood drop on the trail at 875 South Bundy?
Of the 3 people that are mentioned on the chart, that's correct.
Right before a break in the trial, a cell phone call to one of the spectators caused this exchange.
All right. The person whose cellular telephone went off is ordered to immediately surrender that telephone.
When no one turned over the phone, the judge turned over a new directive.
All right. Bailiffs are ordered to search each individual entering the courtroom. No pagers, cellular telephones, any noise-making devices may be allowed in the courtroom from this point hence. All right. We'll be in recess.
Now, there are a large number of people who could match the blood type of the blood, drops of blood taken from the scene, but the prosecution says Simpson had the motive and the opportunity to commit the crime. Prosecution says they will soon introduce DNA evidence that will specifically point the guilty finger directly at Simpson. Ann?
All right, thanks, Kevin. Joining us tonight is our legal analyst and former Marion County prosecutor Jeffrey Modisett to talk about the events today in the Simpson trial. Jeff, thanks for being here.
Let's try and sort this out. The forensic chemist Greg Matheson said that if the samples were mishandled, it wouldn't necessarily affect the evidence. The defense, of course, said they would. How does the jury decide who to believe on this when you have two opposite points of view?
Well, as you know, the defense has been spending a lot of time trying to show that actually the blood evidence here has been contaminated. So it's absolutely essential that the prosecution start out by showing that whatever mishandling might have taken place, that it doesn't affect the results of the DNA analysis. We are entering the most critical phase here. This is like the smoking gun when we get to the DNA evidence. One of the other important things here, Tom, this is very complicated testimony. The jurors are already almost numb from all of the tedious testimony that's gone on in April. They've really got to keep their attention here, because if they don't believe the DNA evidence, then they've already lost it. And one of the things they did today, which I thought was a good move, the prosecution used a very graphic photo of Nicole Brown Simpson that really shocked the jury and got their attention just as they got into this complicated testimony. I think that was very important.
Well, the one juror who left today says she was more than numb. She just can't take it anymore. At the rate they're losing jurors, couldn't this complicate the case? Head it toward a mistrial quickly?
Oh, I think very much so. We've been saying for a long time that it's going to be difficult to see if this is ever even going to reach a jury. We're down to only 5. But, you know, you reap what you sow. And in this particular trial, Judge Ito only had 2 witnesses on the stand for the entire month of April. No wonder you're seeing these jurors start to go crazy practically and get to the point where you may not actually have enough jurors for a final verdict.
Real quickly, do you think it'll actually get to the jury?
Well, I tell you one thing. I think the odds are increasing that they will not. But if they do, you cannot have less than 12 people deliberate without the consent of both the prosecution and the defense. So this is getting to be high stakes.
Jeff, thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up on Channel 13, Eyewitness News at 5 o'clock. What's the buzz on the air these days? Pat Carlini says it's the smash. He's back and better than ever. Pat has his return to Buzzard Radio coming up in her What's the Buzz.
You've no doubt noticed we have a new home and a new name. We'll take you on a detailed tour of our new set when we come back.
Until now, laptop portability meant giving up multimedia capability. But Toshiba's new 7-pound notebook comes with a CD-ROM, so you can take huge databases or full-motion video with stereo sound anywhere. You'll find it this week at Best Buy for $29.99.
This is your captain. We hope to correct the aircraft's angle shortly.
So if you want the magic of multimedia, but don't want to be weighed down, Toshiba's the ticket, but you better fly to Best Buy.
I stopped by my Cadillac dealer and looked at the new DeVille. Impressive. DeVille's the roomiest front-wheel drive luxury car in the world. I like that. Only DeVille has the airbag system to help protect all 3 front seat passengers. That's good. And DeVille's only $489 a month. Now that got me excited. I looked at the competition.
Current Cadillac owners, take this to heart. A new DeVille is only $489 a month for 24 months with $1,800 down. See your Cadillac dealer today.
Ain't no thirsty horse gonna stop me from getting a cattle company. They're setting out a sizzling top sirloin steak nestled alongside a sweet and steamy lobster tail. Cattle Company steak and lobster with all the fixins for just $11.99. I gotta get that horse a hat. And if you get a Visa card, bring it.
Once you've experienced the cushion ride suspension in our new T1560 lawn tractor, you'll want your grass to grow back faster, just so you can mow it all over again. A very affordable T-Series. Now made in America by Kubota.
Kubota products are available at Floyd Equipment in Bloomington and Dabney Equipment in Muncie.
Just in case you think Bob's new weather center is for show, this is a working office, a working weather center here.
We're right there. You are. All sealed in there, and we're ready to go. Yeah, we're keeping track of everything in there, as a matter of fact. So we'll bring you up to date, give you a little cook's tour here one of these days. Anyway, it's forecast. Some rain began in the metro area 2 this afternoon. Very light so far, but all of that is going to change during the overnight. Look at some of the numbers at 5 o'clock for you now. Light rain continues here in the capital city. Temperature, we have 50 downtown, out at the airport officially. Light rain and 49 degrees. Relative humidity stands at 83%. Winds are northeasterly at 12 miles an hour. Barometric pressure now, that's falling off just a bit. That's at 29.80. Now, quickly the forecast to give you an idea of what's happening tonight. No surprise, the rain is going to continue, probably 45 degrees by 11 o'clock. By tomorrow afternoon, expecting this rain-making system to be out to the east, so it should become partly sunny with a high temperature of 60. Now, here's what's going on. You can see the loop, or the area of low pressure, and the clouds looping around it. The low is right down here south of the Ohio Valley. So with this circulation around this thing, all of the clouds and the precip are going due east. So that's good news for us. Here's the NexRad combo from the Midwest out of Indianapolis, and it shows the heavier showers, even some thunder showers in the south-central part of Ohio. Here is the cool front. All of this continues to scoot eastward. Now, looking at the NexRad radar out of Indianapolis, you can see from Columbus to south of Bloomington, that is the heavier area of moisture. Continuing to go east, this is all very light rain or drizzle across the central part of the state. There's not much up here at all. They may pick up a half inch or so in our area, and then gradually this will just diminish to light rain or drizzle throughout the evening hours. So here's the setup now. This is the low causing all of the showers. The cloud shield extends all the way back through Missouri and Iowa. As this thing moves out then, the cloud should leave. We should end up with partly sunny skies in the afternoon tomorrow, and then we'll have to watch this system because later on Wednesday, it's going to bring a chance of some showers our way again ahead of the warm front, and maybe some showers or thunder showers on Thursday ahead of the cool front. In between, we'll have an opportunity to, well, at least cool off somewhat. So that's going to be our setup. As far as the temperatures are concerned, those generally on the cool side here with the cooler stuff moving out to the northeast. Some mild 60s will start to get into the trend, but still that's going to be below normal for us. So here's our forecast for this evening. It's still going to be rainy. 45 degrees by 11 o'clock this evening. During the overnight hours, there'll continue to be some periods of light rain or drizzle. 42 degrees should be our low first thing tomorrow morning. And then in the afternoon or in the morning, 43, some showers around. But in the afternoon, the clouds should break for partly sunny skies. We should top out with a high temperature coming in at some 60 degrees. We'll have a west wind anywhere from 10 to 20 miles an hour. Our extended forecast keeps us below normal, as you can see, until we head on into Friday. And then a little better situation there in the fact that our temperatures will get back up to 70 degrees. But there is a chance right now, the way it looks, that we could have an afternoon shower or thunderstorm for us on Saturday afternoon. We're still several days away from that point, but that's the way it looks right now.
I notice you have a little bit more distance to cover in your weather stroll now,
you
don't
think?
you?
Yes, a little more space than I had before.
It's good exercise.
Of course, I could use that anyway, right?
It's aerobic for you.
Yes,
all right. Thank you, Bob.
Now to this new set, this new look and new name. This has been going up for weeks now, and we're glad to unveil it. It took several months and $500,000 to build.
Our new Eyewitness News set is a sprawling and towering high-tech complex. A design that's based on urban and rural Indiana. More from Channel 13 Eyewitness News reporter Chris Profit.
Indiana's landscape has inspired artists to paint and poets to write. A canvas can take many shapes, but rarely do they all fit in a semi-trailer.
Let's go sort of over to these two blue panels.
Dan Devlin may perhaps be one of the most widely seen yet unknown artists in the country. His news set designs can be seen on networks and TV stations from New York to California, and now Indiana.
Slip your music up, Mike. Q ready 28.
Welcome back to Channel 13 Eyewitness News at noon.
We do a certain bit of
architectural elements in the set that try to reflect the market and then the city, but primarily it's here to make people look good.
When Channel 13 gave Devlin and his designers $500,000 to build a new news set, the station wanted elements that gave its viewers a feel of the city and state. What Devlin gave them were the hardwoods of Brown County, the hues of agriculture, the foil from an Indy car.
Some of the set elements, like the railing, is actually a helicopter visual shot of the city circle.
From its energy-saving lights to 9-foot video wall, the set is a sight to behold that's beholden to Indiana. Chris Prophet, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
It is 17.5 feet tall, and the set was based on a computer-animated design that we all gasped at when we saw it on videotape.
It's amazing what computers can do. It was also designed for future expansion. It can be updated to accommodate interactive television as well as other high-tech possibilities.
And about our name, I grew up with Eyewitness News 13. This was our moniker years and years ago, so this is like coming home for a lot of us.
It's a lovely new home.
It is.
Still ahead on Channel 13 Eyewitness News at 5 o'clock, the new chickenpox vaccine will be available this month. It's just what the doctor ordered, or is it? Health reporter Jill Dittmeyer with many answers to questions popping up about the vaccine, coming up in her HealthCast report.
Also ahead, a popular radio voice of the 70s returns to the metro area airwaves. Pat Carlini with Adam Smasher in What's the Buzz? Next on Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
Having trouble making ends meet? Your Allstate agent can help you tie it all together. When you put both your car and your house insurance in our hands, you could save money on both. And if you have an excellent driving record, you might even save more. Just call an Allstate agent. You could save a bundle. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Get some serious fun on the day you need it most. U.S. Express, every Monday, from the Indianapolis News and the Indianapolis Star. If you don't consider any of your money disposable, take care of business with Business Weekly, every Monday in the Indianapolis News and the Indianapolis Star. To subscribe, call 633-9211.
Amigos, at Chi-Chi's, you don't just get any combo. You get ultimate combos, like a cheese enchilada, a chicken burrito, a beef taco. That's the new Mex way to combo. Want more? Here's the finale, our famous fried ice cream. All for just $7.99. That's value the new Mex way, only at Chi-Chi's. Come taste the new Mex.
At Wishart Hospital, you can choose your own doctor. Dr. Haywood Brown is one of the many great Wishart doctors dedicated to compassionate and personal care of Wishart patients that choose him. At Wishart, we believe your unique needs are best served with your special ability to choose your doctor. It's another reason why Wishart is the only Indiana hospital recognized as one of the nation's top 100 hospitals 2 years in a row. Wishart works for you. Call 634-CARE to choose your special doctor. Watch Channel 13 Eyewitness News. We're giving away $1,000 a day, plus the grand prize, a Jeep Cherokee Laredo. Watch and win this May.
Quite a buzz tonight about what's going on the Buzzard.
That's right. That's right. A popular name that we all remember and know. Lots of fans came out for this one, so we're going to show you a little more about it. Radio legend is back home in Indiana again. DJ Adam Smasher has returned to WNAP Radio. Today was his first day, and the fans were enjoying his comeback.
And in the beginning, upon the wings of the warrior bird, there came a being who had once before rocked the land with his very presence.
The hair is a little shorter now, but the voices stayed the same. It's Adam Smasher back home again in Indiana after being away for 13 years.
Welcome home, Center Grove, class of 1977.
Fans braved a chilly wind today downtown for Smasher's welcome back party.
It's good to see old friends today, and the funny thing about it is it's just the first day, because more of them are going to come out of the woodwork, old friends, and I'm going to run across new friends as time goes on, and I tell you what, it's just good to be home, you know?
Smasher was here a few weeks ago visiting family and visiting the airwaves at WNAP. His one-hour stop led to a new job here once again.
And back in the 70s, my favorite band, and there were so many great bands back then of a local nature.
The Smash says Indianapolis has changed quite a bit since his departure in the early 80s.
The changes are amazing to me. Number one, my two favorite sports are here, pro football and basketball. Basketball was here, but the Pacers back in those days, man, they were strong in the ABA, but in the NBA, man. But now Pacers, you know, on the verge of a sweep here against Atlanta.
And we also reminded Smasher of some of his days here on Channel 13.
I'm up to it. I've been waiting for it. I've wanted it bad. The time is now. The time has come. There ain't no woman gonna handle the smash. Come on.
And showbiz certainly runs in the family. That's his son, Abraham Ben Ruby, on the hit NBC show ER.
It's really pretty simple.
You can ask for a more proud father than me with Abraham.
And Smash says his son from ER fame is now working on a new Steven Spielberg movie. It's called Twister, and you can hear Smasher, of course, at 93.1 on your radio dial from 6 to 10 every morning. And of course, he had a lot of kind words to say about you, Tom.
Well, we spent a blizzard together. We'll have to tell that story sometime. It was great to see Mike Griffin and Jackie there, and I got to tell you about Abraham. When he used to join Smash at the radio station, they called him the Tiny Trash Masher.
Oh, really?
Because he was the Adam Smasher, and now look what Abraham has gone on to do.
Not so tiny anymore.
No,
and they look a lot alike, don't they?
They do,
now that you know.
It's good to have the Smash back. Thanks, Pat.
That was fun. Still ahead on Channel 13 Eyewitness News at 5 o'clock. What if they held an election and nobody came?
That may be the case at some polling sites in Indiana tomorrow, but probably not in Muncie. We'll tell you why in our primary preview. It's coming up.
These are just a few of the more than 60 trophies on display here at McFarland Middle School. They were won for a competition no other IPS middle school has. I'm Liz Daly, and coming up on Positively Indiana, we'll meet the McFarland chess team and their very special coach.
If someone asked me what I like best about my Ford F-Series, I could tell them about the galvanized steel bed and how tough it is. Of course, I like the rugged suspension that can handle almost any road and still deliver a smooth ride. I could go on and on about the safety of a driver's side airbag and security of rear anti-lock brakes. That's why around here, people drive Ford trucks. And the Ford F-150's been America's bestseller for 18 straight years.
Your Indiana Ford dealers are one.
Militias. Until Oklahoma City, you probably didn't know they existed, but they do, and they're in Indiana. Monday, Channel 13 debuts Eyewitness News with a powerful report.
There's going to be a big battle.
Bill Hussong has spent months investigating Hoosier militias.
They're not going to get our guns.
And what they say, what they believe, will shock you.
We are not going to have another Waco ever again, with only 4 federal casualties.
Watch Patriot Powder Keg, beginning Monday at 6 on the debut of Eyewitness News. It's coverage you can count on.
Watching an action movie on Showtime. Watching an action movie on digital Showtime. Experience the power of USSB digital programming on the new digital satellite system, now at your RCA or satellite TV retailer.
Next year, you'll be paying less for your license plates. Will it really be that drastic of a tax reduction? Find out at 6 on Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
It is 5:34, and for those of you just getting home, we want to get you caught up on today's developments in the Oklahoma City bombing.
Today, the FBI released another sketch of the elusive suspect known as John Doe number 2. The new picture is a profile view in which the suspect appears stocky and wears a baseball cap. An FBI agent says the suspect is tan and muscular and could be a weightlifter. At near Junction City, Kansas today, where the Ryder truck that carried the bomb was rented, investigators look for evidence that materials for the bomb may have been mixed nearby. They also looked in a nearby lake for tools and equipment used to make the bomb. Investigators today say they did find a receipt for 1 ton of ammonium nitrate in the home of Terry Nichols. They say that receipt did have bombing suspect Timothy McVeigh's fingerprint on it.
The Pacers, the race, and graduation season. 3 reasons you may have forgotten that there's an election tomorrow. One more reason, not many candidates are running in this primary. Many of the races for mayor and city county council aren't races at all. In Marion County, for example, at least 30 Democratic and Republican council races are uncontested. Nevertheless, polls will be open tomorrow from 6 in the morning to 6 at night. Tomorrow, Channel 13 Eyewitness News will have coverage of the major contested races and results just as soon as they become available. Well, there is one hotly contested race tomorrow in Muncie. 11 candidates are vying for the city's top office. And as Channel 13 Eyewitness News reporter Jeremy Rogalski tells us, one of the hot issues in the mayoral race stems from an Eyewitness News investigation.
There's probably a half dozen.
This is Muncie's current mayor, David Dominic.
For some reason, everybody in Muncie wants to be mayor of Muncie.
There's actually 11 candidates running for the city's highest office, 8 Democrats and 3 Republicans who will fight for their party's nomination tomorrow.
But along with the regular election issues like crime and taxation, voters in Muncie this year will also be dealing with another hot-button issue at the polls.
I'm mad. I'm really upset about it.
That is the government inefficiency Eyewitness News first told Muncie voters about in February. Our investigation found city sanitation workers getting paid for hours they never worked, a practice that wasted an estimated $250,000 a year. Republican mayoral candidate Dan Cannon.
We shouldn't have to have Channel 13 coming in here and pointing out a problem that we have. We should be on top of things, and we should understand that there's a problem. We should be doing something about it.
It's a feeling echoed all over Muncie. Here at the Spot Diner, hot-tempered voters are quick to give their pre-election input.
Well, I think more at hand now is who the voters think will get stuff done.
They don't do a thing. They just sit there and won't let everything go. I want somebody in there that'll do what they say they're going to do.
As for the city's top incumbent, David Dominic has decided not to run again. His advice for the one elected?
You're going to have to find ways to create a better management system instead of the good old boy network. The sanitary district is still managed by a kind of a good old boy network, and that's where we still have some of those problems.
Problems someone else will have to deal with soon. In Muncie, Jeremy Rogalski, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
Election officials in Muncie are predicting close to a 40% turnout for tomorrow's primary.
Next on Channel 13 Eyewitness News, the new chickenpox vaccine will be available this month. It is supposed to take away the itch, but it isn't. Soothing the concerns of many doctors and parents, Jill Dittmeyer explains next in her HealthCast report.
Also ahead, the playoff Pacers. They're taking their game to Atlanta, where they'll try to wrap up the series tomorrow. We'll have a live report from Atlanta coming up.
If you were going to build the perfect luxury sedan, you'd start with this affordable 24-month lease payment. You'd add a V8 engine that goes 100,000 miles before its first scheduled tune-up, and introduce a 12-point memory profile to keep everything adjusted to your taste. Simply put, you'd build the all-new Lincoln Continental, a perfect balance of luxury and technology. And among luxury sedans, the perfect choice. The all-new Continental is available now at your Lincoln Mercury dealer.
It's a great day for popcorn fish or chicken. It's big fish. Delicious bite-sized pieces of crispy, all-white fish or chicken for you. Can you pop them? Pop them, slam them, dunk them. How about a hook? New popcorn fish or chicken, just $1.99 for a quarter pound in fries at Long John Silver's, where great fish is a big deal. Who says big fish can't jump? High fin!
Bossy TV, NBC.
Tuesday, a dreamy new Wings lives out a Brady Bunch fantasy.
Far out.
And look who Helen is.
Marsha.
Then an all-new news radio steamy office affair.
I kissed Bill.
You are a sassy one.
And a brave new Frasier, the duel of a lifetime. Look out! Niles fights for the honor of his beloved Maris.
Very nice, thank you.
And Pride and Joy as Frasier's Perry Gilpin. All new must-see TV, NBC Tuesday.
I tried every diet imaginable.
I tried myself alone and all the tapes that you can buy over the counter.
I needed to lose weight, and I knew I needed to lose weight.
Ladies only, get serious about weight loss.
Now a story every parent of a young child will want to hear. Chicken pox.
And the chicken pox vaccine. Now, it sounds like a really good thing, but doctors are kind of questioning this a little bit. And if you were lucky and you had the chicken pox as a kid, it probably wasn't too much trouble for you. But things can be different as you get older. It's still not a life-threatening disease, and this chicken pox vaccine could help matters somewhat. But the doctors are saying they still have a few questions about it.
Most of us as physicians don't see a lot of really ill children with chickenpox, so that's maybe why we're a little bit blasé about it.
Most of the problem with chickenpox is missed work, missed school, and the impact on the family in terms of costs from those items.
And the issue of cost comes into play several ways with this vaccine.
It's not cheap.
At about $50 a shot, it will be the most expensive vaccine. And it's not clear which insurance plans, if any, will pick up the tab. Now, the vaccine itself has few side effects, but for doctors, the big question is, how long will it provide protection?
I think the concern is that if we vaccinate children, then as adults, would that immunity wear off, and then would they contract chickenpox as adults and thus be a lot sicker?
Studies show full immunity only lasts for about 10 years, but studies in Japan show that that's not a problem.
In Japan, so far, with 20 years of use, there hasn't been an increased number of cases in adults.
And even if the immunity does decline and adults get chickenpox years after being vaccinated, their cases are generally much milder.
The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that all children over the age of 1 receive the vaccine, and adults, you can get it too if you haven't had the chicken pox. And if you're still not sure if it's right for your child, the best thing to do in this case, and really any case, ask your doctor if they would give it to their child. And if they say yes, you're probably pretty okay with it.
But without this vaccine, if you get chicken pox as an adult, it can be very serious.
It can be terrible. It can be uncomfortable. You can miss work. It can be a big problem. So you might want to invest the $50.
This is good news.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jill.
You're welcome.
Coming next on Channel 13 Eyewitness News at 5 o'clock, Liz Daly's Positively Indiana. Tonight we meet a coach who is teaching his students all the right moves, and he's not doing it on a basketball court or a baseball diamond.
His name is Bill. We found him through the Adopt a Pet program at PetSmart. You see, they don't sell dogs and cats, but every year they help save thousands of homeless animals. It isn't just a great place to save on pet supplies. It's a way to save something more important. Somebody's best friend.
For a limited time, Sunday through Thursday, you've got an extra reason to crave Mountain Jack's tender prime rib. Because right now it comes with a ½ pound of Alaskan snow crab. Steaming, succulent, and free. And of course you get a whole feast, including soup and salad, potatoes, baked tomatoes or rice, and fresh baked bread. Free snow crab, now with the best prime rib in town. Sunday through Thursday at Mountain Jack's. What a concept.
Excuse me, could I interest you in this car?
This is the car?
It's the 95 Buick Regal.
This is beautiful.
Totally redesigned, all new interior, stereo with cassette, dual airbags, ABS, remote keyless entry, power everything. What would you pay for a car like this?
Oh, $32,000.
Would you pay under $21,000?
I'm a businesswoman. That's a great deal.
This is the 95 Regal. Get into your Central Indiana Buick dealer and get ready to move.
Hundreds of channels, and there's still nothing good on TV.
Ah, there's something good. Kroger bonus buys. There's thousands of them.
Who likes watching those?
Anyone who likes saving money. And look, Kroger pizza is good, isn't it?
Yeah, so?
And how about ice cream?
Yeah, with hot fudge. Nuts. Maybe I'll just go get some.
You're going to miss the rest of the bonus buy commercial.
That's okay. I already know how it's going to end.
Long before the Oklahoma bombing, we began our own Eyewitness News investigation into Indiana's militia. You'll be shocked to see what we uncovered tonight at 6.
We often hear students singing the praises of their football or basketball coach, but on tonight's Positively Indiana, some middle school students have some wonderful things to say about a coach that rarely, if ever, gets much attention. Liz Daly joins us now live from McFarland Middle School with some of those students who are very anxious to tell the story. Liz?
That's absolutely right, Tom. Good evening. I'm with some of the students of the chess team at McFarland Middle School, and they're 6th, 7th, and 8th graders who wrote to me and said, hey, we have a really positive story we'd like to share with you. And I said, well, okay, let me hear a little bit more about it. So the person who authored this letter is right here, and I'm going to interrupt his chess game just a moment here. Samuel Cox, good evening. Good evening. Would you share the letter, just a little bit of it, with us that you wrote to me that you wanted to share about your coach?
Yeah, okay. We are the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students from McFarland Middle School in IPS. We are writing this letter to inform you of our wonderful chess team. The only IPS middle school chess team. We have been to a lot of tournaments in Indiana this school year, and also in tournaments in Lexington, Kentucky, and Terre Haute, Indiana. The fees, entry fees, and transportation fee have all been paid for by our generous coach, Mr. Leonard Wallace.
And Mr. Lynn Wallace has actually spent a lot of time with you, and not only his own expenses, but teaching you a lot about the game. And how has that experience been for you? What do you think you would have been able to accomplish what you have without Mr. Wallace?
No, because the game teaches you thinking skills and responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And
you've also won, 63 trophies this year?
About that.
Okay, and that's compared to last year. This is their second year in competition, and the first year they won 16. We're going to talk to the coach right now, Lynn Wallace. I bet you were probably a little bit surprised to find out that they wrote that letter about you.
Well, yes, I was. I was very pleased that they thought so highly of me.
Mm-hmm.
As Sam said, we are in a second year of building this program, and they've just done wonderful this year.
Why do you do it?
Chess teaches so many good things, logic, planning ahead, concentration. All these can be applied to the classroom. And they get to meet new people from different areas of the state and throughout the Midwest. It's just a marvelous experience for them to have.
Now, just this past weekend, you placed second in the Marion County Nationals. That's quite impressive. What's the next step now?
Well, next week we're going to the national tournament in Detroit, Michigan, and I'm taking 11 students from the team up there, and we'll be playing on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I'm hoping that we'll do well.
You're using your own money, your own transportation. Do you think you're going to be able to continue this for a long period of time, or how are you going to keep going?
Well, we do have some small fundraisers, but it is true, IPS does not support us financially in any way, and our principal, Karen F. Daly, would love to support us, but her budget is very limited. So it's really up to our own devices to try to get the money and hopefully, get some contributions every once in a while.
Okay, well, there's some very talented young men, and I understand you do have young ladies in your program, or at least you did on your team last year, so maybe some more young ladies at McFarland. Middle School will come in. And I also like to mention real quickly, 12 years ago on this date, the Masters of Disaster, if you remember that, they were middle school students from...
Elementary from IPS 27, and this is the 12th anniversary of their national championship victory.
And you were the assistant coach for that.
The assistant coach.
Okay, yes. Maybe these guys will do the same thing. You never know. Well, here's the chess team at McFarland Middle School doing some really positive things, and we wish them well at Detroit Nationals next week.
Indeed we do, and we thank you very much for bringing us that positive story, Liz. We'll see you later.
My pleasure, sure.
All right. Coming up next on Channel 13 Eyewitness News, the road to the NBA Finals takes the Pacers to Atlanta, where tomorrow they will try to clinch round one of the playoffs. Don Hine is live in Atlanta with a preview next in sports.
At MCL, you can eat in or carry out all of this for not a lot of this. MCL, it cooks. Remember, don't forget to eat your vegetables. MCL, it cooks. Does a fast lunch have to mean fast food? Not at MCL. MCL, it cooks.
Problem. The trees and shrubs you got someplace else don't seem to be flourishing. Solution? Go to Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse. Lowe's garden experts give you the heartiest goods from the best growers every day. Plus, nobody beats our prices guaranteed. And our trees and shrubs will grow like gangbusters, or you get your money back. So, where can you get great plants and trees that'll definitely grow on you? Lowe's. Because Lowe's knows lawns and gardens.
If you've been wrongfully injured, I'll get you what you're rightfully entitled to.
There are times in your life to make the right call. Call the law offices of Stanley Kahn.
Watch Channel 13 Eyewitness News throughout May. We're giving away $1,000 a day, even a Jeep. Watch Eyewitness News weeknights at 11 o'clock. Listen for the question number announced during Bob Gregory's weather segment. Look up the answer in your Eyewitness Views magazine. Be the 13th caller with the correct answer and you win $1,000 in cash. Plus a shot at the grand prize, a Jeep Cherokee Laredo courtesy of Tom O'Brien Jeep Eagle. Watch and win this May with Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
Now that Bank One is offering $1 closing costs on home equity lines, people are dreaming about what to do with the money. Like where to put that new swimming pool. With one great offer after another, Bank One is your one and only place for loans. Now that Bank One is offering you the chance to win $50,000 in the one and only home equity loan sweepstakes, think what you could do with the money. Like take a real vacation. With one great offer after another, Bank One is your one and only place for loans.
Well, do you feel like a sweep could be in the making?
I think we'll have a broom here on the set tomorrow night.
Really?
I think we should keep that on standby. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yeah. Good evening to you. For the second consecutive year, the Pacers just one win away from a sweep in the opening round of the playoffs. Indiana goes for the knockout blow tomorrow night in Atlanta, and that is where we find Don Hine. Don, we understand that the fellows arrived late this afternoon, eh?
That they did very late, David, and I don't have an earwax problem. It's just that you're very low level in there, so I was trying to hear as best I can. And sitting beside me here, one of the observers in one of the world's great all-time card games, which we shall not talk about, Byron Scott. Byron, let me ask you first about this game coming up tomorrow night. Third game. I would think it would be advantageous for you guys to really get this game from the standpoint of getting a little rest, or am I off base here?
Oh, no, you're definitely on target. I think, for a couple of reasons we want to get this game tomorrow. Number one is to get some rest. Number two, we can kind of evaluate the next opponent, and I think we can really prepare for them where they won't get a chance to prepare for us. So, it's definitely an advantage to us if we can go out and get this game tomorrow and just get this series over with and start getting some rest and start looking forward for the next opponent.
Is it a danger at all to think you're ahead 2 games here, you know you're going to win the series, and to think about the next opponent rather than consider who's coming up tomorrow night?
Yeah, it's very dangerous. I don't think you should ever look past your opponent that you're playing at that particular time, especially in the playoffs, because you never know when a team can all of a sudden get hot. If you give a team life, all of a sudden, they just start playing probably a little bit above their norm, and you want to just go in and give them the utmost respect and play them extremely hard like you did the first 2 games and try to get it over with as soon as possible.
Hey, we just saw you guys arriving on some tape just a second ago. Is it appreciably different playing on the road? Is it plane travel is so quick now you're just here and there and back home again?
Yeah, it is different because you're trying to get familiar with everything that's going on in this new city, and when you're on the court, the lighting's different, the fans, the colors, all that stuff. So playing on the road is a little difficult, but we had to just go out there and just do the best we can. We know we can beat this team anywhere, and we just have to go out there with that type of attitude tomorrow.
One quickie question. Got about 20 seconds left here. They're going to have to do a lot better job on your two guards, Reggie and you, aren't they?
Well, that's true. I think, we've been getting so many good looks at the basket, and Reggie was just so hot the last game. I'm sure they'll come up with some type of defensive device to make sure that we don't get those same type of looks. So, tomorrow is one of those games where we're going to have to get the ball to other guys also.
Hey, great luck, and I understand you did a great job last night in the Jam, huh?
Oh, I think so. I had a lot of fun, I'll tell you that.
All right, that's what that show is all about. We'll send it back to you, David, and see you at 6:20, and we'll be talking downtown with Larry Brown.
All right, hey, thanks a lot, Don, and give our thanks to Byron Scott, as usual. Very
I shall.
act. All right, Don Hine in Atlanta. We'll have more from him at 6 o'clock. The Indians have wrapped up a 6-game homestand, and they head back out on the road in first place. The Tribe hosting Oklahoma City, and Rowdy the mascot having fun with the kids from IPS at the Drug-Free Day. Greg Briley at the plate right here lays down the bunt as the Indians put on the rally caps. Eric Owens had the big blast of the day, a 3-run dinger as the Tribe won it, and the kids went home happy. 4-zip. Indians now 14-8 on the year. They'll play on the road for the next 7 days. The major leagues will soon have major league umpires. What a great idea, huh? The umps have reached a deal with the baseball big shots, so the 120-day lockout is finally over. That means it's open season on the real umpires beginning Wednesday, and Lou can't wait. Replacement umps have been calling games since the season opened up, and they've had mixed reviews.
You can use replacement umpires when you have replacement players, but when you have major league umpires on the field, you need major league caliber umpires as well. And they screwed up every possible call imaginable, so they were a walking advertisement for us, and I'm sure that helped get us back to work.
Well, gee, aren't you just nifty? We'll see your calls on Wednesday. See if you can do better than those replacement fellas. Baseball has not been the same since those guys took over. Some disturbing news to tell you about. A former Indy 500 Rookie of the Year and an IMSA Series points leader are both hospitalized after a horrifying crash yesterday at the World Sports Car Race in Atlanta. Here's Jeremy Dale. He does not see Fabrizio Barbazza sitting right there. Barbazza, the 1987 Rookie of the Year, in critical condition. Jeremy Dale is in stable condition after that horrifying wreck in that IMSA race in Atlanta. Finally, tonight, let's wrap up with something positive. The weekend leftovers, the plays of the week, and we start with golf. Tom Wargo playing in the Seniors PGA in Vegas, 182 yards, pop and drop, just like it is designed, the hole-in-one. And yes, it's hard to believe the fans are warming up for the infield fun at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I can't believe it. And we'll be seeing all those knuckleheads all too soon as the track officially opens on Saturday. More from Don at 6 o'clock.
I've seen that guy out there.
Have you seen him?
Yeah, I have.
Turn 1 or 4?
Right in the middle. Thanks.
Thank you, David. We'll see you in a little bit. We thank you for tuning in to Channel 13 Eyewitness News at 5 o'clock.
We're back with much more news next, including these stories. Dozens of Hoosiers are preparing for a war. Investigative reporter Bill Hussung tells you what he learned in a 4-month investigation into Indiana militia groups. Join us for part 1 of Patriot Powder Keg.
Plus, Indiana lawmakers deliver some good news to Hoosier drivers. We'll have the latest on cuts in the state's excise tax.
Also next, though 2 plane loads are sold out for the trip to Atlanta, it may not be too late to hop on the Pacers Express. We'll tell you how you can take flight to Game 3 of the playoffs.
We'll also have Bob Gregory's SkyTrack 13 forecast.
It's all coming your way next on Channel 13 Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock.
Coming up this week on Entertainment Tonight. If you thought Meg Ryan pushed the limit in When Harry Met Sally, wait till you see what she does with a French kiss. And you've seen the Academy Awards, but you haven't seen anything till you've seen the Wonder Bra Awards. Find out who'll be crowned the Cleavage Queen. But first, she replaced Pamela Anderson as a Tool-Time gal. Now will Home Improvement's Debbie Dunning bump the Baywatch babe off the beach?
I get to kick some butt.
Find out on the next Entertainment Tonight.
Monday at 7 on WTHR.
Now, Tom Cochran, Ann Ryder, Bob Gregory's SkyTrack Weather, and Don Hine Sports. With coverage you can count on, this is Channel 13 Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock.
Good evening, I'm Ann Ryder.
And I'm Tom Cochran. We have a new home and a new name tonight. Welcome to Channel 13 Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock. In the aftermath of the Oklahoma City bombing, news reporting has focused on the growing militia movement in America. Reports centered principally on the Michigan militia as the possible breeding ground for those responsible.
But how much do we know about the militia movement here? Last fall, long before the Oklahoma City bombing, investigative reporter Bill Hassung began to learn everything he could about Indiana militias. And all this week on Eyewitness News, Bill joins us to tell us what he's learned. Bill.
And Tom, this is a fascinating but also a disturbing story. Over the next several nights, we'll take you inside the hearts and minds of Indiana militia members. These are Hoosiers who believe the federal government is trying to enslave us all. Hoosiers who are convinced open warfare is imminent. We'll introduce you to Hoosiers preparing for war. Tonight, an overview of our 5-part investigation, Patriot Powder Keg.
We're at the point of no return.
What the militias, what the Second Amendment is about. Because it's not about hunting ducks, it's about hunting politicians.
With liberty and justice for all.
As long as we fight to keep it that way.
The views of Indiana militia members echo across the state. In small towns and quiet suburbs, people like Dillsboro's Dennis Cochran believe a war is coming.
Yeah, there's going to be a big battle.
Cochran owns and operates the Dillsboro Family Restaurant in Dearborn County on the Indiana-Ohio border. Like most militiamen across Indiana, he's a white rural male convinced a worldwide conspiracy is underway to enslave the American people.
It's hard to believe that a government could be so evil, so corrupt, kill people without blinking, having a president. This president, and I firmly believe, along with several million other people, this president is God's judgment on the United States.
Militiamen believe the first step in this plot is the federal assault weapons ban, a move to take guns from civilians before the invasion of United Nations troops.
They're not going to get our guns.
Cochran believes that a New World Order dictatorship will force militiamen to accept an implanted computer tracking chip militiamen call the mark of the beast.
We will not accept the mark of the beast. Now, that mark of the beast, we believe right now, and it's being done, in several different states where they inject the little chip, computer chip, in the back of your the back of your hand or in your forehead.
Cochran's views are not isolated. Virtually all the militiamen we spoke with during our 4-month investigation share this paranoia. Take anger toward the federal government, a belief in worldwide conspiracy theories, couple it with a dose of anti-Semitism, it's a very dangerous recipe. These passions fueling Indiana militiamen are the same passions that sparked Waco and may have motivated alleged Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh. The militia powder keg is waiting to ignite across Indiana.
These people are foreign people who have brought upon and perpetrated upon this nation the greatest deception in the history of the world.
Groups tracking militia activity, including the Anti-Defamation League, fear these Hoosiers are preparing for civil war.
People who are clearly fanatics, who have a strong ideology that is opposed to what I would say is organized society as such.
Last month in Indianapolis, alleged militiaman Mark Burton used a semi-automatic rifle to open fire on sheriff's deputies, wounding 3. Burton reportedly bragged to friends about his militia involvement. Only tear gas ended this standoff. More than a half dozen Indiana militia figures already face trouble with the law. Ripley County militia leader Mark Adams engaged in a 4-hour standoff with a state police SWAT team. Another militia leader is charged with allegedly using a car to block a federal motorcade. Yet another militiaman was charged with public intoxication after allegedly marching around a county courthouse armed with an assault rifle and 29 rounds. Militia leaders often travel to Indianapolis for meetings of the Sovereign Patriots, Indiana's most radical patriot group. The leader here is Mark Stevens, considered too radical even by the standards of many militias. Here it's not just anger toward the federal government, but anti-Semitism and racism as well. Some experts believe militias represent the far-right lunatic fringe always present in American politics. Other experts believe they represent A new paranoia brewing on the edges of our political culture. Militiamen see themselves as patriots fighting to protect the rights of all Americans. It's believed roughly 200 Hoosiers belonged to militias 2 years ago. But today, fueled by Waco and the federal assault weapons ban, as many as 2,000 Hoosiers may belong to militias in 40 or so counties. One moderate militia organization divides Indiana into 8 brigades. Militias across the state are organized by county and go by a variety of names. In Evansville, the Tri-County Carbineers are one such group. Membership in the Carbineers requires an assault rifle and at least 100 rounds of ammunition, preferably armor-piercing. While Indiana militias are loosely organized, they often look to self-styled militia General Linda Thompson for leadership.
If we have no other options than to throw these people out by force, that's what we should do, because there's nothing left to us. I have nothing to lose. I'm not going to die and leave this country under a one-world dictatorship for my children.
Tomorrow night, the Patriot powder keg is already igniting across Indiana. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock, we'll detail how militia beliefs are already increasing the likelihood of violence across the state. A number of disturbing incidents demonstrate how real the threat actually is.
Now, in other states, in fact, in the Oklahoma City bombing case, the militias say they had kicked out bombing suspect Timothy McVeigh. Here in Indiana, are there different levels, splinter groups?
Excellent question. There are very real factions competing in Indiana. One faction fears the coming war is inevitable. Another faction is preparing for a coming war but hopes it can be avoided. And that appears to be the major split.
All right, Bill.
Civil war.
Civil war.
Bill Hussine, thank you. See you later. We have much more news ahead for you on Channel 13 Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock. Indiana lawmakers' budget battles bring some good news to Hoosier drivers. We'll tell you how much of a tax break you'll get at the license branch.
Plus, mayoral races dominate tomorrow's primary elections. We'll have a preview of a few key races when Eyewitness News continues.
Amigos, at Chi-Chi's, you don't just get any combo. You get ultimate combos, like a cheese enchilada, a chicken burrito, a beef taco. That's the new Mex way to combo. Want more? Here's the finale, our famous fried ice cream. All for just $7.99. That's value the new Mex way, only at Chi-Chi's. Come taste the new Mex.
I knew I could get it, but I just didn't know how.
And you can't understand it for him.
You try tutors, you try friends.
That's when I asked his teacher about Sylvan.
Sylvan is a great partner for a teacher to have. Sylvan gave Cindy the boost she needed.
I made honor roll. I get all A's.
I felt like I could do anything.
Anything that can give a student an extra boost makes me happy.
As a mother and an educator, I could not do what Sylvan did.
To reach the center nearest you in Columbus, Greenwood, Indianapolis, Lafayette, or Muncie, call 1-800-EDUCATE today.
We wanted a dishwasher we could depend on.
Yet it had to look good in our kitchen.
And it does.
Plus, it works hard.
And keeps up with our family.
I love the fact that it's quiet.
Yeah, that's nice. Best part of all, though, is the price.
Just $369, this new Frigidaire dishwasher fits into your budget as well as your kitchen. Get it this week at Best Buy and make no payments for 6 months.
After all, clean dishes.
A happy dish. Now if I could just get someone else to empty it.
The new line of Frigidaire appliances, now at Best Buy.
What goes into the Dodge Viper? V10 engineering. More horsepower than a Ferrari 348, but not these impurities. Every new Viper leaves the factory with crystal clear Amoco Ultimate, the only premium refined an extra step to remove impurities. For unsurpassed performance, proving a masterstroke of engineering begins with your car, but ends with your gasoline.
Welcome back to Channel 13 Eyewitness News at 6. Good news from state lawmakers tonight. Their gift to you is a reduced excise tax bill. When you go to the license branch to pay your excise taxes, you should be paying less money starting next year. The legislature passed a bill this session that includes a 50% reduction in excise taxes. That will be phased in over the next 5 years.
I think it's great. Anytime I have to pay less money and taxes are to the government, period, I think it's great.
I think it's typically short-sighted and irresponsible. The roads are terrible. We need the tax dollars, so you got to collect them.
Those excise tax cuts will be phased in beginning in January 1996 through the year 2001.
All of the Republicans and most of the Democrats, including Governor Evan Bayh, are taking credit for the state's new 2-year budget. Lawmakers posed with the governor as he signed the 2-year, $14.6 billion state spending plan. Primary education is getting an 8% increase in funding. State colleges and universities are getting 9% plus money for major building projects. There is money to start building a new state prison and 3 state parks. And there is money left over, a predicted $829 million surplus.
We have cash reserves of more than 11% of our annual budget, and that will compare very favorably to any of the other states and obviously would make us the envy of the federal government. So we are in very strong financial condition. It is balanced.
Some Democrats say the state can afford to spend more on education and raises for state workers. They also are talking about cutting income taxes during next year's session. The Indiana House of Representatives approved a resolution urging Indiana University to continue its tradition of prayer at graduation ceremonies. 2 students and a law professor filed a federal lawsuit against IU seeking to block the prayers. They say the prayers are unconstitutional. Each day, the House of Representatives begins with a word of prayer.
If the number of absentee ballots filed for Tuesday's primary elections are any hint of turnout tomorrow, it's going to be light. Mayoralty campaigns will dominate. Some of the key races include Indianapolis Mayor Steve Goldsmith seeking a second term. He faces F. Perry Ray. Democrats running are Councilwoman Zime Jimison and truck driver Paul Swinford. In Anderson, Democratic incumbent Mark Lawler is seeking a third term. His most viable primary opponent is City Councilwoman Linda Williams. And in Muncie, Republican Mayor David Dominick is retiring. Republican contenders to replace him are Daniel Cannon and Robert Stevenson. The polls open tomorrow at 6 a.m. and they close at 6 p.m. Mail will run tomorrow, but state, city, county, and federal offices will be closed on Election Day, as well as the license branches.
If you're one of the lucky ones with the day off tomorrow, you may want to head down south to Atlanta to cheer the Pacers onto a sweep. 2 planes are full, but American Transair has a 3rd plane with 40 seats left. But you must act quickly to meet the deadline to get a seat. That deadline is 9 o'clock tonight. Just like last year, the Pacers Express includes round-trip airfare to Atlanta, a ticket to the game, and a ride to the Omni, all for $179. If you're interested, call ATA at 243-4561 or the toll-free number on your screen, 1-800-442-8952. So far, there are more than 950 fans heading south. Pat Carlini is among them, and she will have reports for you tomorrow on Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
As you have noticed, we have a new home and a new name tonight.
A familiar name from the past coming up later on Channel 13 Eyewitness News. We'll take you on a tour of our new set, one with some Indiana ties.
As you saw earlier, Ann was talking about how she was a mere child when Eyewitness News came on, and I'm afraid I was one of the fellows occupying the chair at that time, too, so we'll kind of separate the age difference there a little bit. Here are the numbers for you tomorrow, some 60s, but we're still a long way away from normal. Will that get here this week? We'll check for you coming up.
Problem. The trees and shrubs you got someplace else don't seem to be flourishing. Solution? Go to Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse. Lowe's garden experts give you the heartiest goods from the best growers every day. Plus, nobody beats our prices guaranteed. And our trees and shrubs will grow like gangbusters, or you get your money back. So, where can you get great plants and trees that'll definitely grow on you? Lowe's. Because Lowe's knows lawns and gardens.
Now that Bank One is offering 100% loan-to-value home equity lines, people are dreaming about what to do with the money. How about enlarging your bedroom? With one great offer after another, Bank One is your one and only place for loans. Now that Bank One is offering you the chance to win $50,000 in the one and only home equity loan sweepstakes, think what you could do with the money. Like take a real vacation. With one great offer after another, Bank One is your one and only place for loans. Shopping for your next car? Why not America's quality and value leader, Buick? Best in class, family car of the year, first for safety, solid American value. Buick, the new symbol for quality in America and in Central Indiana.
From sea to shining sea.
The signs are obvious at Revco, a drugstore you can trust for complete pharmacy services, a helpful pharmacist, our personalized patient advisory leaflet. It comes with new prescriptions. Our prescription access link system. It conveniently links all Revco drugstores together and checks for possible drug interactions. Plus, we'll match any competitor's prescription price. Revco, formerly Hooks. We're proud to be your drugstore.
It's 5 for 5 time at Arby's. Slow roasted beef makes it a better taste, and 5 regular roast beef sandwiches for $5 makes it a better deal.
Sometimes people don't believe me when I tell them that I really did grow up watching Channel 13, but I was a little more than a mere child when we were
Some
Eyewitness
people don't
News.
want to hear that.
I know it.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
I was a mere teenager.
You know, I'm often asked, too, every time I go out to the spot about the little kid all bundled up and that.
Yeah.
And then if there are a lot of ladies in the audience, I'm sensitive to the ladies. I say, you don't really want to know how long it was when we had that on the air. And they kind of reluctantly say, well, maybe. And then when I tell them the year, they say, no, I guess I didn't want to know, because it has been a while. Anyway, let's talk about a little weather here for us today now. Temperatures about 18 degrees below the normal. The warm-up will come, though, but by Friday. Outside now, let's take a look at what we have as far as the numbers are concerned. We have 50 degrees here. At the airport, light rain is being reported, 49, relative humidity at 83, getting a north wind at 14 miles an hour. Our pressure's at 29.79. And that's falling a bit. Our forecast for the evening, if you're headed out, still rainy conditions are going to be around. Carry an umbrella with you, 45. But tomorrow afternoon, we're opting for skies to at least become partly cloudy. Later in the afternoon, we should top out at 60 degrees. Here's what's going to make up all of that. This is the Doppler radar out of the Indianapolis Weather Service office. You can see the heavier amount of precipitation diagonally just from the Columbus area south and south of Bloomington. Very light precipitation or drizzle here. This will continue to move away to the east, but slowly, thus our forecast for rainy conditions tonight. But you can see the back edge of this just about to Indianapolis now, and as that continues moving on out, the showers and the rain will go with it, but not until the overnight hours, so we'll still be left with some cloudy skies. Temperature-wise for us today, morning lows on the crispy side. Up at South Bend with 37 degrees. Bloomington had 42. It was 40 in Columbus. Afternoon highs, not that much better. 52 in Evansville and 54 up in South Bend, so that's the extremes. We're right in the middle here in Indianapolis with a 51-degree high. Now, what's going on in the weather map? Here's where we are at the present time, this area of low pressure, the rainmaker to the south. As this thing moves out of the way, the forecast for tomorrow then calls for skies to become partly sunny in the afternoon. Temperatures should warm up a bit once this cloud shield leaves. Then we'll have to start worrying about this frontal system out to the west as that comes eastward. Wednesday night, some clouds, maybe some showers late, but it looks as though Thursday that could bring a couple of showers. We'll talk about this in just a second for you. As far as tonight is concerned, again, rainy conditions, 45 by 11 o'clock. During the overnight period, we'll still have some light rain or drizzle around. Should be 42 at 8 o'clock or 42 for the overnight low. At 8 o'clock in the morning, we'll jump up a few degrees there, have a 43-degree reading. And then in the afternoon, we're opting for our skies to become partly sunny anyway. We should top out with a high temperature of 60 degrees. Our winds will be out of the north, 10 to 20 miles an hour. Then clear and cool tomorrow night. And as that temperature cools off, there's a chance that we could have some patchy fog develop. 42 will be the low, and there you have the numbers for the rest of the week now, and you see we will finally reach the 70-degree mark by the time we hit into Friday and again on Saturday, but I'm afraid there's a chance for some thunderstorms again Thursday, and then it looks as though maybe late in the day on Saturday, but we're still several days out from Saturday to get too concerned about that yet. Marathon weather looks good right now.
Good.
Your new format is very convenient for us viewers.
I hope so.
Thank you very much. Still to come on Channel 13 Eyewitness News. Can the Pacers sweep the Hawks in the first round of the playoffs?
Don Hine goes downtown with Larry Brown live from Atlanta. Coming up next.
Care for dessert? Or a little coffee?
At Old Country Buffet, you get desserts and beverages for no extra charge. For some folks, that's the icing on the cake. Come on into Old Country Buffet, where you get really good food, including desserts and beverages, for one low price. Old Country Buffet. We're real close to home.
Having trouble making ends meet? Your Allstate agent can help you tie it all together. When you put both your car and your house insurance in our hands, you could save money on both. And if you have an excellent driving record, you might even save more. Just call an Allstate agent. You could save a bundle. You're in good hands with Allstate.
If you think of Meijer's just a place for groceries, a trip across the aisle to women's fashions could have you changing more than your mind. Mom's the word this week at Meijer. Save 30% off our everyday low prices on our entire selection of women's CC Hughes rayon separates, and pick up a Simple Pleasures kimono roll for her too. Now on sale for just $15.99. Women's fashion, it's in for a change at Meijer.
We're changing the way you look at Meijer.
Anybody know what time it is? It's tracker time.
The fun in the sun Geo Tracker.
Just 11/230. Uh-huh. Hey, wow, that's a lot of fun.
Caution, do not try this at home.
It's tracker time in Central Indiana. See your local Chevy dealers now, Tracker.
Pacers have some nice momentum going now. We hope they can keep it. Big D is on the big wall down in Atlanta. Donald.
I am excited about this ball game here, Tom. I wish the people of Atlanta were a little bit excited about this thing. We went all over town today, really found nobody interested in the ball game. As a matter of fact, Ted Turner has offered tickets free to his employees of his entire organization, and they can bring a friend. So you know what kind of excitement is there as far as the Atlanta Hawks are concerned. With that in mind, I asked Larry Brown just moments ago here sitting with me if that maybe was a loss of home court advantage for the Hawks. Larry, let me ask you first, they're having such a hard time creating enthusiasm here in Atlanta. Do you think that will blunt their home court advantage at all tomorrow night?
Well, I don't know. Last time we played them, they didn't have a lot of people here, and they were pretty enthusiastic. I honestly think it helps, you know, when you have a good crowd. Our crowd's really been a big part of our success in the playoffs recently, and it's got to be disappointing to the players to, you know, win a division like they did last year and 57 games and not have big crowds, and the same thing basically this year. So, you know, hopefully it'll help us.
You've really played 7 out of 8 good quarters in the first 2 games so far. What are you talking to your players about?
Well, it's nothing that I haven't said in the past. I think it's basically the same thing. We win with defense, and we win playing hard and playing unselfishly, and I think we've done that these last 2 games. We have a hard time putting people away, but that's been a problem all year. We haven't come back all year to these playoffs, so that was encouraging. But I think the biggest thing is we got to play our game, and when you get in the playoffs, defense and rebounding become even more important.
Well, baseball is back 100%. The umpires' strike is over. They have a new 5-year contract, and as a matter of fact, they're getting a nice little raise between 25 and 35%. Here is their legal counsel, Richie Phillips.
The owners wound up paying a lot more money than they wanted to, and we wound up taking a lot less than we wanted to get, and that's how you make a deal. And I think we all found out that baseball can make a deal.
In baseball this afternoon, the Blue Jays and Angels, a look at the Sky Dome and the replacement ups, probably for about the last time. David Cohn, the big guy for the big bucks, with a wild pitch. That scores a run. Damon Easley in the first, 1-0 Angels. Then in the second, Timmy Salmon with a solo home run. It's 2-0 Angels. That's the final in the ball game. Our Indianapolis Indians, home to Oklahoma City, That's the 6th game of that nice home stand there. Greg Briley with the butt hit. Kind of a lost art, don't you think? But the big hit in the ball game, Eric Owens, that's a 3-run homer. Rick Reed is the winner. 4-0 the final there. Indians stay in first place in the association. And did you see this terrible crash yesterday right here in Atlanta in the IMSA race? Jeremy Dale hits Fabrizio Barbazza. Oh, is that an awful crash? Broadside there. Barbazza in critical condition. And Jeremy Davis is in stable condition after surgery. Well, I'll be interested to see what happens in this ball game tomorrow night because, as we said, the interest is low. Will it be low for the Pacers? Do they want to, as Byron Scott told us live at 5:50 tonight, finish this thing off in 3 games and get a little rest and let Cleveland and the Knicks pound each other into oblivion? We'll see that tomorrow night. We'll be live at 11 o'clock tonight, and we'll see you from Atlanta. This is a beautiful hotel, by the way. It's called the Swiss Hotel, and we won't tell our management what it's costing per night here.
All right. They'll be looking at your expense report very closely.
That's right. Say hello to my brother-in-law who lives there.
Hey, we shall. We hope it's a very nice Italian restaurant
It
tonight.
is.
We'll say hi to him.
All right. Thanks.
See you later.
Coming up next, you've seen glimpses. We want to take you behind the scenes.
Our new home has some Indiana ties. We'll take you on a tour of Channel 13 Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock. Next, stay with us.
The Shell MasterCard from Chemical Bank is not just an ordinary credit card. It's a liquid asset. Because when you use it to buy the things you need, you earn free Shell gasoline. The more you use it, the more free Shell gasoline you earn, leaving you no reason not to take the plunge. The Shell MasterCard from Chemical Bank. Look for an offer in the mail or pick up an application at a Shell station near you.
I'd like a junior bacon cheeseburger with 2 full strips of bacon and make it fresh.
Define fresh.
Fresh beef, fresh toppings, made right now?
By right now, do you mean right now, or right now today?
Right now, right now.
Let's get back to that fresh thing. Thinking to myself, what is it?
If you like your hamburgers made fresh, you have to come to Wendy's. Our 99-cent junior bacon cheeseburger comes with 2 strips of bacon and fresh beef hot off the grill. Only on Wendy's 99-cent super value menu.
Better food makes it a better value.
Until now, laptop portability meant giving up multimedia capability. But Toshiba's new 7-pound notebook comes with a CD-ROM, so you can take huge databases or full-motion video with stereo sound anywhere. You'll find it this week at Best Buy for $29.99.
This is your captain. We hope to correct the aircraft's angle shortly.
So if you want the magic of multimedia, but don't want to be weighed down, Toshiba's the ticket, but you better fly to Best Buy.
We take a healthy new approach to your health. Meadows Behavioral Care System.
Morning.
He's really put his life back together.
Yeah, part of the team again. Just a whole new attitude.
Ever since he went to Meadows.
Outpatient and inpatient care for emotional, alcohol, and drug problems. Behavioral care at Meadows can turn your life around without disrupting it.
We take a healthy new approach to your health. Meadows Behavioral Care System.
As you know by now, our news at Channel 13 has a new look and a new name. Channel 13 Eyewitness News debuted last night at 11 o'clock with the unveiling of our sprawling new set. The $500,000 set features a 9-foot video wall, high-tech, energy-efficient lighting, a separate interview area, and a fully functioning weather center. The designers borrowed colors that represent Indiana, from the hardwoods of basketball courts in Brown County to the green that reflects the state's agriculture.
We've got some wing action going on up over the weather center, which is supposed to be similar to the foil on an Indy pace car or race car or whatever it is. Some of the set elements, like the railing, is actually a helicopter visual shot of the city circle area.
Well, with the ground effects, Bob Gregory now has the fastest forecast at 500. The skyline is a composite of the city's prominent buildings. The computer design set stands 17.5 feet. It was designed so it could be expanded and updated to include interactive television and computer technology.
All too often we hear about violent and stormy marital relationships that end in murder. Tonight at 9 on WTHR, the world premiere movie If Someone Had Known profiles a young woman pushed to the brink by her abusive husband. Then at 11 on Channel 13 Eyewitness News, Jill Dittmeyer explores ways to save troubled marriages. And the number of OJ jurors continues to dwindle. Another one is dismissed. What are the implications for this trial? And Judge Ito will take a look at that tonight at 11 as well.
Thank you for choosing us on this Monday evening. We're back tonight at 11 o'clock.
See you then.
A new sketch of John Doe number 2, the Oklahoma bombing investigation, gains some ground. Another juror has gone from the Simpson case as the testimony moves into the highly technical phase. And on Health Watch this Monday night, the problems of infertility concentrating on the man.
From NBC News, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Good evening. We now know more about John Doe number 2, the second primary suspect in the Oklahoma City bombing. But almost 2 weeks after that terrorist attack, we still don't know his name. Federal authorities are convinced, however, that they know a good deal more about the bomb tonight, the materials, and where it was made. We begin with NBC's Robert Hager.
As federal agents and National Guardsmen search debris carted from the blast site for evidence of the bomb, the FBI said today it now knows that bomb was assembled in Kansas, a key piece of the puzzle one agent called the holy grail of the probe.
A receipt for 1 ton of fertilizer, the sort used in explosives, has now been found at the home of McVeigh's friend Terry Nichols in Harrington, Kansas. And authorities say it has McVeigh's fingerprint on it. Sources tell NBC News.